Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today it is 34 minutes past 3 in the afternoon. We're back in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I'm a little bit out of breath because I was just downstairs about 30 seconds before the stream started. I had to bolt up the stairs very quickly. Yes, PMDG have announced this aircraft should be released tomorrow. Now, there's no absolute guarantee of that, but they have sent me another update for this aircraft prior to release, which brings some further refinement improvements. I think they've now announced that the exterior model is going to be delayed, the update to that, for the next 3 to 4 weeks. I think it was a lot more work they envisaged than they possibly thought would actually happen. So that's what I've heard. We'll have a look at the updates today. But yeah, we're going to do a short flight, about 1 hour 30 minutes from the capital of Portugal, Lisbon. We're going to go to Madeira. We've been there before, a long time ago. In fact, I think I've only ever done one live stream into Madeira in the 737, about 4 or 5 years ago. My operator flies into Madeira. I've actually got some notes on how to fly the RMP Zulu authorised required approach, which is the approach most operators fly here. So I'll be following real-world operating procedures as closely as possible for you. So if you want to fly to Madeira, you can do. Now, massive thanks to Atelic, who are a flight sim scenery developer who made some Madeira scenery. The Madeira airport does have some updates on it via Microsoft Flight Simulator, but they've not really been updated. So I contacted Atelic last night and they sent me a copy of their scenery, which is for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Supported for 2024, but they're in the process of updating it, so it's a lot better in 2024. They wanted just for me to point that out. But yeah, it should be fun today. Now, this morning I woke up with a really sore throat. This is probably my second or third cold in the last 2 to 3 months. My advice is don't have children. My daughter seems to be bringing in all sorts at the moment, so do excuse me if I cough a few times throughout the stream. I'll do my best to mute the microphone where I can. Now, today we are going to be flying a Boeing business jet. There were some operators that fly into Madeira from Lisbon, which I didn't want to use, so I thought I'd fly a Boeing business jet. We've never actually flown a PMDG Boeing business jet before. We're going to take a full load of 48 passengers on this aircraft, exclusively as Alpaca 01, our business jet fleet, from this beautiful MK Studio scenery here in Lisbon to Madeira. Anyway, let's see who we have in chat here. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. Excuse me. We've got here the Jake YouTube gets even worse when they go to school. Oh, don't get me started. Itch and scratch it. I don't have kids and I am fine. Well, thank you very much for rubbing in. I hope you're doing well. Loads of members here today. Crazy sarcasm. Just wait until they get into school and mix with all the other sick kids and bring it all home. Oh my goodness me. Lots of advice here. Unbelievable. Thanks, guys. Steve M, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, around 5 o'clock tomorrow for the UK. I believe that's the planned release date for this aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Maiden, I hope you're doing well. HMS Daring 1, Marcus Drexel is here as well. Simbear UK, sweet right at the start of this. Hope you're doing well. Very nice to see you. Good afternoon, Kavinsky, Malk 51. Eddie, good evening, Cough, Captain Cough. My goodness. Yeah, do apologise for all the background noise here. But back to work tomorrow, my last block before Christmas. So I just wanted to get a stream out. I've got quite a busy week at work this week. Anyway, here is the Boeing business jet. Looks beautiful. Let me just put some lovely backing music on here in the background. Just got to remain professional and throughout all of my streams. Why is that not playing? Hold on. Oh, there we are. Excellent. So yeah, I mean, as I said, the exterior model hasn't been updated yet, so it's sort of similar to what you get in 2020, but the model in the 2024 variant looks very, very nice indeed. This is based off Gamma Aviation. They had a Boeing business jet. I don't think they have it anymore. I think they scrapped it a few years ago. But Victor Bravo, Bravo Zulu. Very, very nice. And it has a interior BBJ design as well, which looks really, really cool with lots of sofas and seats in here. I think we'd all have to be living in another planet or another life to perhaps be able to sit in the back of one of these. But you never know. It looks very, very nice with that corporate livery indeed. We've got Wi-Fi enabled as well. I noticed that in the PMDG settings, you have this modification for a tail. I don't exactly know what that is on the top of the vertical stabilizer, but it is an option on the Boeing business jet. This one is also fitted with auxiliary fuel tanks. Not that we'll be using it today, but it'll be quite cool to do a long haul flight with the auxiliary tanks in one of these for an overnight stream perhaps. Fibers, at least it won't crash like X-Plane 12. Yes. Now I must say to all my X-Plane 12 fans that only fly that simulator, I am going to look at X-Plane 12, and not until I get my new PC, which I'm hoping is still going to arrive before Christmas, but there's no guarantee on that at the moment. I've had to change some of the order around because parts are really hard to come by, but it's still going to have a 5090. But yeah, I did my members group flight on Sunday, and it was a disaster in X-Plane. It crashed 5 times. I rolled back the NVIDIA graphics card as well, still having stability issues. The FPS is poor. I don't know what's going on with the current versions. And the Zebo mod, I don't know if it was more the mod or the weather in X-Plane 12, and the variable winds and the gusts just makes the aircraft uncontrollable. So I will be back at X-Plane, but obviously having early access to this is a great opportunity to promote the aeroplane. And of course, this channel is all about flying a realistic 737. This is probably the most realistic one we have available at the moment. Anyway, let's now jump into the flight deck, which is completely cold and dark. I did notice with this scenery there's a few passengers levitating outside of the terminal. I'm not sure where they're going, but you'll just have to ignore them. Hello, Ava Boone. If you could fly any airliner currently flying, what would you choose? I'm currently working on my pilot's license. I have a list. Hopefully I can get them before most are retired. Well, it's lovely to have a list of airlines you'd like to work for, but realistically, if you're training to be a pilot, be grateful for any aviation job you get, especially on the right hand seat of a jet. You might not want to work for that airline to start with, but you never know. My operator, been here 15 years. I originally wanted to fly long haul, but life changes and other things happen, and the work-life balance my operator gives me is something I'd never want to change. So I'm very settled and enjoy working at my operator here. Anyway, let's get the aircraft all powered up and set up. There's a little bit of that BBJ interior, so battery on, GPU's on the bus, electric hydraulic pumps we can pop on, landing gear lever is down, and then we'll check the ship's library and the aircraft documentation. Up here on the overhead panel, look at that in a second. There's some subtle differences to the cockpit, the BBJ, which I'll point out in a second. So fault and fire tests. There's the squibs. There's the fault test, fault AV detector in op, master caution overheat detector I saw up there, and the fire test as well. Fire warning lights, bells, overheat wheel well, and overheat detector too. And we can cancel it by pushing that button. So, a few little differences. You'll notice by the captain's left knee, there's this auxiliary fuel panel. Never seen that before. On the overhead panel, you've got this auxiliary fuel transfer switches. Again, I have no clue on how to operate the auxiliary fuel transfer system on a 737NG, not that we need to today, and it also has a slightly different ISFD design. So PMDG have a lot of sort of things modelled which you have with the other variants of the 737 as well. Latest NVIDIA drivers has problems. Yes, I think that's causing problems with X-Plane at the moment. Harry, please can you demo how to enter position on the ISDU as opposed to the FMC? Oh yes, the thing that you have to do once during the type rating, but you never have to do in real life. I could do, but I can't be arsed. Basically, all you do is insert your present position in the coordinates here manually, like you would with an INS system. Go to your FMC or insert your heading, and off you go. But you can do that. I can't be bothered to get the supplementary procedures out. Does the auxiliary tank work now as it was in op in 2020, I believe? Darky, I have absolutely no idea. Great question. I've not flown. This is the first time I've flown the BBJ in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Right, let's carry on with the tests here then. So, emergency exit lights are armed. Imagine the cabin is secure. That's all configured and set. MCP is set for now, flaps are up which match the indicated position. Let's just have a quick look at this operational flight plan. So, now Funchal, I think it's something like 1 in 10 flights to Funchal end up in a diversion. The weather today is actually quite nice, 01011. Now there are maximum wind limits for different directions, so in this track here, or where the wind's coming from, sorry, not this track, there is actually no limitation. But if it swings between 020 and 040, the maximum wind speed is 20, gusting 30. But the forecast is pretty good. There's no ability to look at a TAF here, but I did see the forecast, it's fine. So based on the fact that my alternate's actually to go all the way to Tenerife North, but we've also got the other airport just to the north of Madeira, I forget its name, Porto Santo. We can go there if we have to divert, so we'll go with that one. So, operational flight plan is here. Standard block fuel with the alternate of Tenerife North is 6787. So let's go 6.9 tons on the fuel. So I'll go down here, FS Actions fuel, 69. we are, and the payload we can sync up using. Does GSX do the payload? I think it does. So let's use the GSX. I'm quite curious to see how it. Oh no! I pressed prepare for pushback and departure. No, don't do that. Not ready. I need to board. Interrupt pushback. Yes. Oh crikey! Oh my goodness me! Behave, GSX. Oh! I think I did press select boarding, but oh dear. Right. No, not deboarding. Request boarding. It lagged, and then I have to restart Koodle now. Hold on. It's probably going to be completely broken now. The air branch is attached. How are you doing, Matthias? Matthias here from PMD Official. If you have any questions about the PMDG, please direct them towards Matthias. That is his official account. He says, I've left a lot of wrecks near Madeira. Absolutely, it's one of the most challenging airports to fly into, for sure. There we are. Let's have Menzies. Perfect. Boarding requested. REJ5698. Thank you for your continued support as a member. Hope you're doing well. Glad you're joining the content. Hope you get invited to the. You will be invited to the members only Discord and enjoy the customization chat. I've broken GSX. Cheers. Christ, I'll take your hands off GSX. Stop pressing buttons. Oh, I don't know what I've done now. I think I pressed request boarding, but because the jet bridge was attached. Operate jetway. Oh, I'm just going to have to board the passengers manually, guys. So let's. Let me just grab it. Attach. Right, it said it's attaching stairs. It will not see passengers visually. That's fine. I think it's probably to do with the fact it's a BBJ. So we'll just let the stairs attach. And there we are. The doors are opening. Ready to board. But what we'll do, we'll load the passengers manually. I can hear a lot of clicking, so I don't know if that's.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
GSX doing stuff in the background. Zero fuel weight, 51.7. Yeah, 48 guests. I think that has updated. So, operational flight plan. Let's just check the zero fuel weight is correct. Yeah, 51.7. Right, the passengers are on board already. Great. Eddie, thank you. 41 months. Nothing to see here. Pro streamer. Yeah. Blah blah blah. Thank you very much. I am a pro streamer. Look, my MCP is here, all set up, ready to go. They're working. I'm going to select traffic on my ND. And I've got yoga cam available. I'm wearing blue and grey jeans too. And yeah, we'll carry on with the setup. Sorry about that brief intermission. Radio tuning panel event. I think the flaps are up, perhaps indicated position. It's runway 02 for departure. We do have full ATC here at the moment. There's no event going on, but that's great to see.
Locking gear.
Software update for Navigraph charts is now updating. Now I'm doing a software update in the background of Navigraph charts, but once that's complete, I'll get the nav aids all tuned. I pressed no. There we are, it's loading in. Excellent. So runway 02. We'll tune 14.8 for the VOR. It's all a bit out of sequence here. So 14.8 is active. Great. Final approach course is 025, which matches the runway QDM, I think. Yeah, 025. So we'll get rid of that. Set the heading and courses to 025. 025. These typically, when you power up the Boeing 737, the MCP sort of saves all the headings and courses as to what it was prior to the aircraft being shut down. It'll be already set to 025 from the previous crew. So there we are, that's all set. Not that one, I want that one. Perfect. Very much looking forward to trying this in 24 this week, but I'm doing a slip shift through Sweden. I don't know what that means, but best of luck. Maiden says, as it's a BBJ, don't you just drive into the hangar so they can hop in without attracting the notice of other members of the mob? Most likely, secret passengers perhaps. Aurora says, member 47 months, no skimiters today. Is that because they're on the runway in Dublin? No idea what you're talking about there, but this is an old 737-800 with no skimiters attached. There we are. Right, I know I'm completely out of sync now, aren't I? What was I doing? I didn't even finish the safety inspection. Too many distractions. Right, that should be on 2000 standby. Gear extension door closed. Overhead panel voice recorders on up here. Stall warning test. Ooh, auxiliary. Hold on, my Mac airspeed. Whatever is working now. Auxiliary fuel switches here. Again, I have no idea what that does. Not what you want to hear from any 737 rated pilot, but we don't have it fitted to our fleet. Oh yes, there's an emergency equipment picture here as well. That's interesting. But yeah, all the emergency equipment's attached, and it looks like boarding is also complete back there as well. Perfect. Oh yeah, the wing strike on departure on the MOG-F. Sorry, alright, you're quite right. I know exactly what you're referring to. GSX now, once boarding is complete, decided to attach the air bridge, so I have absolutely no idea what's going on. God, I love GSX. Well, let's get the weather and carry on from there. Oh dear. Is that for additional fuel tanks, the flexible bladder ones? That's a great question, Cat. You're also operating on the 737. I have no idea how those auxiliary tanks sort of present themselves on this aircraft. You're lucky today, full ATC through all the way until Madeira. Very cool. Right, well, let's grab the ATIS then. ATIS frequency 124155.
Runway and use 02.
I'll turn up the volume. Let's have a little listen.
After landing, vacate by Hotel 4 first CTC on Del Freak 118.955. Wind 090 degrees 5 knots, variable between 030 degrees and 120 degrees. Cab OK temp 16. 2.8 QNH 1021. Acknowledge information hotel.
So information hotel, I can press the magic B button to get QNH of 10216.
Humberto Delgado Airport, Diatis Hotel. 15330 Zulu.
It's a bit laggy.
Expect
the
ILS approach.
ATIS
Runway and use 02. Transition level 50 after landing, vacate by Hotel 4 first CTC on Del Freak 118.955.
Anthony,
Wind 090 degrees 5 knots, variable
very
between
generous of you, Anthony.
030 degrees and 120 degrees.
Now as well. Thanks,
Cab
buddy.
OK temp 16.
What have you got to say?
Just gonna throw it out there now, bugger or stay home.
Thankfully for me, I can't see the landing rate calculator in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I know it would be less than 100 feet per minute today, so I won't need to BOGO. That's a term we've not used for a very long time. Cheers, Anthony. Hope you enjoy your retirement in from Minneapolis, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Right, so we copied information hotel. Oh, the ATIS has actually just gone offline now. So I didn't actually fully capture it, but I heard runway 02 in use. That'll be enough. QNH 1021 is set. Right, let's set an MFRA of 1330. DLC is available on LPPT. I don't know what that means. DLC. Downloadable content, eh? Or CPDLC? Not sure. Matthias, we always announce pricing on release, but it will be very much in the expected range. Yes, I have no clue on pricing. That's nothing to do with me. I'm just here to show you how to operate a 737. Sort of show you how to operate a 737. There we are. So QNH is set, MFRA is set, seating position, check the oxygen. Don't forget to do your lights test as well, which I often do forget. I've got a cell call on this as well. Light. I will test it. See how the artificial horizon's a different design on the BPJ as well. It's pretty cool. Perfect. Light test is complete. And now we can load up the flight management computer. So FMC, latest ARAC is installed. Put in our position, which is Lisbon, Lima, Papa, Papa, Tango. Put in our coordinates, GPS left, route, flight plan request. There it is from SimBrief. We've already set the fuel and payload already. Let's select route. And it's loading in as we speak. Data link clearance. Oh, that's a great question. Sorry, I never heard of that term actually, DLC. I think we just call it data DLK, don't we call it, or DLC? Maybe it is DLC. I'm having a look at the delivery frequency. Yeah, it does. I can get the clearance via data link if you like, which would be really cool. Let's load up the route. This does have full CPDLC. Oh, Route 2 is available on this update as well. I'm only going to do one sector today, but I can show you on the way how to load Route 2 in. That's been modelled. I have actually got a release update here from this current build, which is build 162 from PMDG for affiliated streamers and content creators. So I'll talk about what's happened with this little update I've received, which is the one that should come out with you guys tomorrow. But anyway, look, let's activate execute. Let's try and get our clearance then. So menu, data link, ATC, log on, Lima Papa Papa Tango, send.
Welcome.
So we'll get our clearance via CPDLC. Hello, HGR2000, I hope you're doing well. Welcome Spears, thanks for your subscription. Ready, it says. Request. Departure clearance. Lima Papa, let's see if it works. This is obviously a little bit different to how it works at my operator. We don't have to sort of put these details in, but not the rest. Stamp 147. Information hotel. Okay, it's going to let me send it. Let's try it. So I've sent my clearance. We should get the ding dong when the. Oh. Request clearance departure. Let's see if they receive it. Sent. Let's see if we get one. Carry on with the setup whilst we do that. So, departure runway 02. Even though you don't have your clearance, you can put your expected SID in, which is going to be an Olvot 1 X-ray. Execute arrivals. We're going to be flying a Raccoon 1 Papa. I am not qualified for Madeira at my operator, nor am I trained on teaching the Madeira training, which pilots have to receive on before operating into Madeira as well. But I do have access to the notes, so I've looked at most of what we'd most likely expect, and that is going to be the RMV Zulu 05, which is a radius to fixed terminal via PLIM. Execute. And we've got our clearance. So menu, data link, request, view message, unable it says, but I can now see my clearance. There we are. So we've been cleared. PDC 999, Alpaca 01 cleared to Madeira of 02 via the Olvot 1 X-ray, Squawk 3374, QNH 1021. And then you say Wilco to confirm you've received the clearance. So cool. If you're unfamiliar with VATSIM, or if you're just watching the stream, that message was from a VATSIM controller, a real person controlling here in Lisbon, and that's probably, I've only received a PDC a handful of times, but in reality, once you've done that, you've Wilco'd it, you get another ding dong to say it's been confirmed, clearance confirmed. But whether that happens on VATSIM with the PMDG 737 CPDLC, I'm not so sure. Pretty cool. And then you just confirm the initial stop level. Now, if the clearance doesn't contain an initial stop level, you basically just have a look at the SID. That might be saying it's confirmed close. So, initial clearance flight level 100, which is already set on the MCP. Okay, another message then. Oh my goodness me. So that says, yeah, closed or cleared. New one, it says AT request status. Yeah, you go, look. Received clearance confirmed. This is very, very, very accurate. The CPDLC modelling here. Very cool. And the whole idea is to reduce RT. Right, QNH1021 is set. We've loaded the FMC laterally. There is a special engine out, Sid, so this is unique to my operator. So departures with terrain or obstacles, you need to make sure that if the engine fails, you have somewhere that's safe to go, because SIDs don't necessarily guarantee terrain clearance. So basically, these waypoints are put in after departure. We route direct to the first one, then the second one, and enter a hold at Rinor, and that will keep us clear of terrain, basically. Perfect. What's happened to my streams? YouTube's changed all the stream settings, so I can't actually see how many people are here. Or we've got 309 people watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Nice to see a lot of people in the stream today. Right, performance then. 0 fuel weights in. Reserves for our operational flight plan to get to Tenerife North. 3 tons. 30 at Alpaca Airways. Cruising at 37,000 feet. Punch that in here. Go to the overhead panel. Update that to 37,000 feet. So check the elevation in Madeira. It's 191 feet. So we'll set 200. Cruise wind in. That's off the operational flight plan.
Minimums.
Pop on the top of line wind, which is 357 at 88. Lovely tailwind today en route. And then the average wind, go to legs, route data, first waypoint after top of climb, Galpo, put the average wind in, which is 350 at 63. Excellent, execute. Alex van der Paas, 44 months as a member, 4 months to go. Thank you very much. 48 months. That's going to be 4 years, isn't it? So thank you very much for your continued support for that entire period of time. And not only that, you just got a gifted 5 members to the channel. Thank you very much for your support there. I'm going to mute the alerts because that will go off for ages. Thank you very much, Alex van der Paas. Welcome to all the gifted members to the channel as well. Members, don't forget what I mentioned in Discord. 8 PM tonight. Enter it. The link is in the announcements section, guys. Thank you. Right. Performance then. We're obviously only having 48 passengers on our BPJ, so we should have ample performance for departure. 02 full length, import weather, import from aircraft. There we are. That's the current weight. 58.6 tons for takeoff. Calculate. Yeah, TO2. Look at that. Weather's fine as well. So TO2 60 degrees. You can't assume any more than that. That's the lowest rated thrust, 20%, around 20% less than full rated thrust, that is, so 88.6. Takeoff, flap 5, CG, 23.45 units. Ooh, try and get the trim to view. Excellent. Adzi bumped it from 99.2 to 99.3. I don't even know how many subscribers we've got, 99.3 something, but we're getting there, we're getting there. V speeds 33, 34, 37. We can set that on the MCP. Great, so FMC's loaded, overhead panel now, so yaw dampers on, nav transfer display switch is normal auto, fuel 4 pumps on, that's all configured and set. That's all configured and set. We're going to heat. Come on. Good. Pax auto, open, that's all configured and set as well. That's not my word of the day, configured and set. Maybe you start. So MCP then, pop on the flight directors, which they should have been off actually. I'll turn them on now. Just put the master on the captain's side. Otherwise the rest is all configured. Quarter brake RTO. And that should be on the legs page. See, legs. Trim set, radio tuning panels all configured and set, happy days. So, let's do some briefings. I was meant to push back 2 minutes ago, 4 o'clock is my due time here. So what I'm going to do is prepare for pushback and departure. Hopefully that will now get rid of the air bridge. Okay, the APU starting up. Oh, that sound is spot on. Oh, I've done so many walkarounds of that thing going off. Right, and now I need to start getting ready for pushback, and then we'll brief. We'll conduct our briefings. So here, ground operations, doors, close all doors, remove chocks. Uh-oh. Wow, I'm not ready yet. Parking brake set. I'll come back to you. No audio from GSX. Oh, there they are. The air bridge is retracting now. So briefings then, guys. We always start with discussing the weather. The weather here is not an issue in Lisbon. It's in fact a very nice day. We'll come back here if there's anything significantly wrong. Aircraft is fully serviceable. We have no defects, nor am I going to be modelling any failures today because we want to get to Funchal and see what's going on. I will do a full-blown 5-minute failure stream soon, or a failure every 5 to 10 minutes. No TAMs done to affect us. Here at Lisbon then, I've not flown from here for a very long time. I'm just having a little look at the airfield briefing documentation. So it's NADP2, careful of taxiway routing, and there's no flying at night. Be careful of any curfews as well. That's about it really for departure, nothing there that's too daunting. Ground distance is a gross error check, 571. progress page, 556, that's great. Fuel on arrival 4 tons, our alternates Tenerife fuel for 3, so we've got plenty. We check the instrumentation, cross-check, brief emergency briefings, taxi then. So we're on a really funky stand here, right in this corner. So we're going to push back onto Whiskey 1 and then taxi to runway 02 via probably a right turn Alpha, then uniform, but we'll see whatever ATC gives us based off traffic. And then we have been cleared on this Olvot 1 X-ray. So a few things to note here. After takeoff, contact Lisbon approach. We're passing 1,000 feet, so don't wait until you're handed over by ATC. You have to contact Lisbon approach yourself if there is radar online. Noise abatement routing, so strict adherence, so obviously use LNAV and follow your flight directors accurately, be it hand flying or the autopilots, and cleared level is 100. Laterally, check the waypoints, so MPAD, Papa Tango 754, 755, 160 above, Ligra, Olvot. There we are, so it's all coded correctly. Great! We are now in a position for push and start. Just reset the camera there because it keeps going into the back. So I'll just double check with clearance that we have the PDC and that we can contact ground. So delivery is online. Let me have a look here. 118955. I was just getting the frequency. Excellent. Let's have a
Roger, copy that.
listen in. Just blowing my nose as well. Very bunged up, so I do apologise, sir. My cold today as well. Any crashes today? No, so far so good, Dennis. Let's see how we get on with this sector.
All stations stand by 1 minute.
Oh, of course. I was just about to get sure that I have my delivery frequency. Oh, he confirmed he copied by CPDLC clearance. We have the airwalkers back again. Oh, yes. It's nice scenery this one, the MK Studios. Anyway, we're ready for pushback here. Smart looking BBJ, but yeah, nice little terminal here. They are walking though through the terminal. Yeah, we are live. Look at all the aircraft here. So busy. Getting great FPS since Sim Update 4 as well. Getting about 40 FPS here at the moment on my 4-year-old PC.
Ground back. Delivery back.
Delivery, hello, it's Alpaca 01 stamp 147. Thanks for sending the clearance via CPDLC. We are ready for push and start.
Alpaca 01, Roger. Stand 147. Pushback and startup approved. Facing south. I'm going to connect now with ground. So facing.
Push start approved facing south and confirm then contact ground 111755 Alpaca 01.
Affirm all station, contact ground 111755. I'm going to connect with ground. Thank you.
Thank you. So he's going over to ground anyway, same controller, but he's cleared me for push and start. So packs off on the APU bleed, duct pressure's increasing, and vision lights on. Parking brake, just before we release it, let's just continue the pushback. I think I only had one option here, facing west. Well, let's just do that one.
Release parking brakes, please.
It's the only option I've got available to face west because it's sort of south. If you have a look here, you can see. Well, it won't be the other way. Right, parking brake released. There we are.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
Perfect.
Start at will.
8 minutes late. That's not good for a VIP BBJ service. Here you are from the lounge, where the passengers are enjoying croissants and a coffee. Excellent. There's the wing walker. Yeah. I just saw that, Lee. Actually, we had to approach controller online. They've just logged off now. All right. Let's start engine number 2.
All stations ground. Back.
Perfect. Bed 2. Oil pressure, N1. might look like someone to assume. N2, although you're now called Nanavac on YouTube. Amazing. Oh, they've got the lighting. Some subtle changes to the sound as well, the latest update. Good, good, good. Start it out. I'm trying to get you number 2, 2463. 2 stable. Start. Where's the champagne? Yet to be served. Head 2. Oil pressure out.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brake is set. Hello Luke, I really noticed that the Max is higher up at the nose wheel than the NG, however lower down at the back than the NG. What is the reason for this? Yeah, so it has a longer nose wheel, the Max, to fit those Leap 1Bs under the wing. So yeah, when you do the walk around in the 800 or the NG, you have to duck down to get under the nose wheel. Oh my goodness me, what is going on? GSX, behave. In the Max, I barely have to duck to get under the nose wheel, so that's the reason. Perfect.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Steve, yeah, it's looking really nice.
Left is clear.
Not
right
sure
is
about this
clear.
apron. It's not particularly straight. I'm definitely on a bit of a slope there. She's wheel spinning out of here. Bit of traction needed before taxi flow. Flaps to 5. No. Flaps button. Oh guys, hold on. My thrust levers aren't working. Have I plugged it in? I'm just going to unplug and plug my Thrustmaster thrust levers in. They're not currently working. Where's the cable? Let me follow the cable.
Please follow the cable that is effective.
Oh yes, helps if I turn it on. It's in my powered USB hub, but not actually turned on. Flaps to 5. Fit out. Plug it in. Flight controls. There we go. Full forward. And full back. Left, centre. Oh, cables all tangled up now. Right, centre. And runners. Right and left. I've accidentally released the parking brake. And then we'd read the before taxi checklist. Happy days. Right, let's request taxi. Lisboa ground. Hello, Alpaca 01 on Bravo. Request taxi.
Alpaca 01. Let's go mode Charlie.
Sorry, squawk mode Charlie. Alpaca 01. I forgot to set my squawk again, didn't I? Oh no, I did. I just forgot to put that on. Yeah, there we are. So, transponder in the PMDG is what triggers mode Charlie in V-Pilot. Dennis, no idea, I'm afraid.
Ground, good day, Jet 50 Yankee,
Hopefully we'll have enough sunlight by the time we get there. Sunset should be around the time we get there. Time the stream for 3:30 for that reason.
Approved. Facing south, long push at instant 506, please.
Oxef, no, you don't need to check the screen. We actually don't have that screen option on my operating unit if there's any blockages or anything restricting movement.
Long push at in 506, stand 506.
506. For what? 150 Yankee, right?
Jet 50 Yankee, pushback and setup approved. You're going to start the push facing south, but stop on stand 506, on line stand 506.
Okay, I stopped on 506 to stand for...
Is he on the ground?
For Jet...
It's only ground online now. Alpaca 01, squawking mode Charlie.
Alpaca 01, thank you, taxi Whiskey, Quebec, Golf, Uniform, to November 2, holding point runway 02.
Taxi, Whiskey, and just after Whiskey, confirm what was before Golf.
Whiskey, Quebec, Golf, November 2, holding point runway 02.
Thank you. Whiskey, Quebec, Golf, Uniform, hold November 2, runway 02, Alpaca 01. Just missed that first one. So,
Air Portugal 89,
Whiskey,
Tango Whiskey information,
Quebec.
India, Airbus A320, stand
Where
224,
is
request clearance
Quebec?
to Europe.
Alpha 89 Whiskey, Tango, hello, information.
Golf and Uniform.
Next Juliet,
There's
now
Quebec.
current
So Whiskey,
destination,
Quebec.
1021. You are clear to Madeira, move out 1X, departure, scope 0.
Golf and Uniform.
16.
Golf, Uniform. Okay, got it. Whiskey, Quebec,
QNH 1021.
Golf.
Uh,
Alright, I'm at there.
we'll
See,
walk
you gotta take your time.
one
You gotta have
X-ray
time. Take your time. Right, yeah. Have I got a PMDG flat tire? I think it's just the terrain, guys. See, look, I still need my new PC from Chill Blast.
Go 89 Whiskey,
Still
feedback,
struggles. Right, bucket release config.
Lisbon ground, hello.
was quite
Atelic
quick.
1407, stand 503, ready for this.
Oh, the engine sounds have changed.
Qatari 1407, 503, pushback and start Atelic, waiting to the traffic.
They changed the audio. My hands didn't slide it. There we are. We're off the off-roading part of the scenery now. Yeah, they've definitely changed the sound. That small below 30% to 20 is quite good. Yeah, definitely a bit more wide. Alright, so we're quite light being a BBJ, 48 passengers. Good there, clear left, clear right.
Alpine 45 Papa Quebec, height November 2, we need to go to the other point.
So second left here is Whiskey. Just take your time around here because it can be quite confusing.
November 3 height November 2, we need to go to 8, jump.
1228 for November Sierra. Ciao, ciao.
Excellent. It used to be an old runway, didn't it? Yeah, so is this no longer a runway? They've turned it into a taxiway, haven't they? When I last went to Lisbon, this was a runway. It's been so long. There we are, so we're crossing what was the old runway. It's now a taxiway. So here's Quebec. We're going to follow this second left here. There's the old runway. So, it's got plenty of inertia. Well, this controller goes from very quiet to very loud.
Confirm ready.
There we are. So next left for Quebec.
Fully ready to contact, yeah,
And then next right is Golf.
Alpaca 31 X-ray, kill taxi, Mike.
That's Josiah Plays. Takes part in almost every live stream. Beautiful. Look at this sun about to set. Well,
My runway here,
minimal thrust.
Air Portugal 89, Whiskey Tango, request pushing north.
And then next right is Golf.
Vertical 89 Whiskey tank, pushback and start up the roof.
Please repeat.
Pushback and start up approved.
Perfect. I see an Alpaca. An Airbus Alpaca. Outrageous. So make sure you slow down to 10 knots for 90-degree turns. Here's Golf. And next left will be Uniform. To taxi November 2, which is the full-length departure point for away. Well, actually, no, it's not quite the full-length departure. Almost. Alright, we'll now start.
Question Alpaca 31 X-ray Q. Vehicles, Uniform to November 2, holding point runway 02.
Is that for me?
Golf uniform
Oh,
and Mike.
Andrew, do you enjoy taxiing in real
Uniform,
life?
November 2,
Depends. Madrid, no. Barcelona, no.
Oh, is that golf uniform November 2 for what?
Airports with just one single taxiway power to away, yes.
Thank you and apologize.
Next left. It's uniform. there's that Swiss we saw earlier on the stand. Oh, there's a nose. Look, if I put too much tiller on, listen to the nose wheel scraping. It's good. Right, as I say, before takeoff check, this config we checked, flaps we have. 5 green lights, stab trips, 5 units set, takeoff briefing. Packs all leads on, V-speed set for departure, 33, 34, 37 on the MCP. Departure is going to be the Olvot 1 X-ray, climbing straight ahead. Going to make a right turn, and a right turn again inbound to Olvot, climbing to flight level 100, NADP2, EO SID. Climb straight ahead to Rocob, then Rinor, which is on the fixed page. We'll climb to 4,000 feet to hold at Rinor. Let's reviews.
To the traffic in front of position, but your taxi will be when clear, show it, Mike Favel in Benhanway 02.
We are ready for departure.
Subject 50 Yankee, Mike Favel in Benhanway 02.
It's just a crowd controller, he won't be able to issue takeoff clearance, unfortunately.
Right, November 2 minute 122 Joe.
Number 2, and then over to advise you fix the ATC up at 01. Bye.
Right.
What field of view is this? I don't think you set field of view in Microsoft Flight Simulator, do you? Over to advisory, there's no tower. Great. Perfect, just squeeze 2 seconds there. Cough. Oh dear. Right, there's I've just got flying past November 2, but never mind. I'll go to Mike 5. I was coughing there. I believe your mic is a bit too quiet. How's that, guys? Is that better? Yeah, I moved my mic away because I was coughing and then muted it. Perfect. Perfect. Right. We are now just going to take a second at the whole point, albeit not November 2, it's Mike 5. Just check the approach. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the feedback. See, every time I cough, I move the mic away and I don't exactly put it back exactly where near my mouth. Okay, so let's have a little look at the live traffic situation. Looks good. No one on the approach. We've just had the Swiss depart, so happy days. Turn that off to save PC resources, and we'll line up runway 02. Just gonna have a little look at the weather. Surface wind is 0604 knots, so a slight crossing from the right. There we are. Strobes on, and we can pop on. Oops, that should be. There we are. Up now, LNAV. Weather radar is on the EFIS panel and the airport display. Transponders to TARA. Let's see how the 90-degree lineup is with the PMDG now. This used to be awful. Now. Perfect. Actually, I turned steeper than I thought it would. There we are.
On One November.
I'm just going to turn down the V-pilot there. Right, I think we're all pretty much ready to go. LNAV didn't arm, well spotted. And it's probably because the turns more than, is it 58 degrees, can't remember. We'll arm it at 400 feet, guys. It will work there. Alright, flight director's on. Tokens in chat, let's go to Madeira. That's the wrong button. There we go. Yeah, because the track's not lined up with the SID, it won't engage until 400 feet. Alright, 40%. Stabilise timing. Set takeoff thrust. Yeah, definitely more whine. Don't forget I've got massive reduced thrust here. Takeoff thrust set indications normal. Checked, release forward pressure.
V1 team.
There we go. Nice. And dead band as well, perfect. Gears coming up. Trim. Alright, let's try 400 feet. Out nav. There you go. Alright, DP to 1,000 feet, plug up. And this is those sounds. Nice. Oh, hang in there, PC. You'll be retired in a week. That's one. Togo, what is this animal house, eh? Flaps up. Obviously you contact departures here from Lisbon, but there's no ATC on VATSIM. No, I don't have my new PC yet. This is my 4-year-old tank. But don't tell it that. Great, flaps up, no lines. VNav, set standard. Passing 3.8 for flight level, 100. Command after takeoff checklist. Matthias, I've just noticed a little issue. What's going on there? I ain't seen that on the real aircraft before. So obviously that's meant to be a perfectly curved line between the two, not sort of crossing like this. And now I could put a lower turn in at PT754 to see if it tightens it up. Let me just put 220 knots or below. See if that helps. I fixed it, Matthias. But in real life, it wouldn't do that sort of crossed magenta line. It would actually overshoot Papa Tango 754 and come back on itself. But that's what happened, guys. It's too steep a turn for the line to be drawn. So by slowing down, I've tightened the radius. There we are. It's updated again. It sort of squared itself off. There we are. Look at this rate of climb because we've reduced our speed. Right, let's slow that down. Vertical speed of 3,000 feet per minute. And go straight down to 2,000 feet per minute whilst I do the after takeoff checklist. Gear off, water brakes off, star switches off, retracts taxi light off, air conditioning and pressurisation, 3.2 climbing, set, release the cabin crew, altimeter standard set passing 8-2 flight level 100, after takeoff checklist complete. There we are, so we'll just wait until we've completed the turn and then we'll continue on the SID. Go to electronic flight flag, charts, SID, wind. Hey, where'd it go? Checked, so 1,000 feet per minute. Good, so we'll carry on towards Olvotten now. There's no ATC, so what we'll do is go straight into our cruise level, which is going to be flight level 370. So set, VNav, passing 9.8 flight level 370. Default Lido chart integration. I don't know, Mertz, actually. Can you do that with the SimBrief? Sorry, the PMDG's tablet. I'm not sure. I have a Navigraph subscription. Listen, how many VIP passengers do we have today? 48, which is the maximum load, apparently. Turn the brightness here. Right, passing 102, flight level 370, pre-cruise checks, my performance is much better now. Fuel, 4 pumps, lights off, APU's off, pressurisation 4.0, set. Release the passengers, recall, checks complete. Beautiful. What a machine. Sounds are good on the exterior. I like them. Very good. They've adjusted, just to match the heading here, the pack sounds. I think they're a little bit quieter in the cockpit now. Hi Sneaky. Hi Captain. Is it not that long ago since I got the... it's not that long ago since you got the 738 for 2020. I do not own 24. Would you say the 738 24 version compared to the 20 version is absolute must have the worth move now? Now the aircraft has obviously had a significant amount of upgrades. CPDLC, exterior model update coming, loads of other things we've discussed in the other previous streams, and we'll talk about some of the changes with this build. For me, moving to 2024 with my specs and PC, the performance I get from the sim is spectacular in comparison to 2020. Since Sim Update 4 last week, or you know, you saw the stream we did last time of the FPS comparison. It's huge how much better the performance is in this PC. So yeah, for that alone, it's worth the update there. Sorry, I've just realised the alerts were off. AJ Finari, thank you very much. I'll just refresh. There we are. 12 months as a member. Thank you for a year. You've got your captain stripes now. Matches Robert, I'm really happy you're taking their new plane out and packing it full of alpacas. The cabin smells like a petting zoo now. Yes, the beautiful VIP 73 full of alpaca hair. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for your continued support and for a year as well. So a couple. Oh gosh, Nightbot, calm down with my adverts. Chill Blast have very kindly discounted my next PC build, and if you were to be so kind, ladies and gentlemen, to click the link that says this stream is powered by Chill Blast, configure your next flight sim PC. Every time you click that link, it helps the channel ever so slightly. And if you were to ever consider building a PC, do please click that link, because if people click that link, order a PC through Chill Blast, I will be in the future able to offer discounts on the PC. At the moment, I'm on a bit of a trial run with them. They want to see what traffic I can generate to the site. I'll be very transparent with you all. There's no benefit to me if you click the link, but only if you order a PC. But if you just click it, build it, and have a play around the configurator, that would be wonderful. Welcome back, Kai Turner. Thank you very much. I know, Steve. It done, even though I built my own. Thanks. But the reason I say that is that I've obviously ordered my third PC since I've started the channel. This is my third Chill Blast PC. The first two are paid full price. I got a good discount on the third one. As long as I say I have it to you guys, which is fine. But there is a reason I've gone with them. I've never had any problems with their PCs since the 7th year in a row. They do deliver. It's a UK company, N2, but they do deliver worldwide. Definitely Europe. Worldwide, I'd have to double check. I should know that, but I think their website does ask. But with Google AI, you can probably find out quicker than I can find out. Liam Echo Lima 3, thank you very much. 65 months as a member. Thank you very much for your continued support. That's an incredible amount of time, and I hope you're doing well. Ready for Christmas. I hope you're all ready for Christmas. I'm not. In fact, I'll even show you here. If I temporarily move my camera here, you can see, go beneath my desk, you can see my unwrapped... Oh, just spilt water everywhere. You didn't see that, did you? Unwrapped Christmas presents in Amazon packages. But I also spilt a bottle of water, much to everyone's amusement in chat. Oh, for goodness sake. Just... Brilliant. Unbelievable. Where's my wife? I like the sounds. The sounds have definitely improved. They've definitely turned down the air conditioning a smidge, which is good, because I think it was maybe a little bit too loud. Bear with me whilst I just mop up my floor. Fenari, I've just seen that. 40, you imbecile. 30, thank you for your donation, 20, but you are an imbecile. Yeah. Where's my tissues? There we are.
On skill alone, can't teach it.
Unbelievable. I've got it all at my cupboard. My desk drawers. If I turn yoke cam on now, you'd see a shiny forehead, so I won't bother. you will all be blinded. If you stare at it long enough and make a wish, it might come true. Right, more to the flight. Climbing to flight level 370. Don't forget every 10,000 feet to check the pressurisation. And we're very light today, obviously, because we're a BBJ with only 40 odd passengers, and it's a 2-hour sector. With a little bit of extra fuel, because Madeira, as we discussed briefly, and I'm sure most of you are aware in chat, it's a real challenge, and it's to do with where it's located. It's not only the topography around the airport, but it's the design of the airport itself. Wind whips under the runway, under those arches, and it actually can produce some quite horrific turbulence. I think you all here, including myself, have watched YouTube videos from various plane spotters in Madeira of aircraft landing into Funchal, and you can see the impact that weather has. Now, today we're quite lucky. We are lifetime live weather, but I had a look at the weather last night and I said this is the perfect time to fly to Madeira again. Now, since I last drove here, which was years and years ago, they actually have some new procedures which my operator can now fly. So I printed it out in front of me, which I'll obviously brief you here as well. Let me just sort out yoga cam. Hold on, because I move that out of the way. There we are. Printed off in colour the charts from my Navigraph account, and this is actually an easier approach to fly than the conventional one which I've done before, because obviously an RMP authorization required. You can essentially use LNAV, VNAV all the way down to touchdown. So I have done the conventional arrival. I did think about doing it again today, but in reality we have approval to do this under a trial basis at the moment of my operator. So I'll fly it so you guys can fly it, because I think that's what most operators do, but I'll show you exactly where we configure it, my operator, where to match speed, drop the gear, drop the flaps, what we're looking for, etc. There is a big caveat with this though. With the PMDG, the terrain radar is very sensitive. Now, I did a test sector and I got multiple terrain cautions and warnings. They require a mandatory terrain escape manoeuvre. So for this approach, you would never do this, but I am going to put this to terrain inhibit, which gives you this display. It's just because you just get terrain, pull up, terrain, pull up the whole way. It's just too sensitive to the terrain around the airport. Now, in reality, as I said, we'd never do that. The system can accommodate the approach, but it just goes off continuously if you don't do that. Madeira spotting is cool. Yes, plainly, I've seen a few of his videos of it. She's seen one where an EasyJet went around and turned right at about 100 feet towards the terminal, which was quite dramatic. Anyway, passing 30,000 feet, put the bank angle to 10 degrees. What have they evaluated with the trial basis of approval ID? I wonder. Absolutely no idea myself, crazy sarcasm.
50,
but it is under some
40,
sort of
30,
trial
20,
basis. But
10.
we have to have certain weather criteria. Ikri, my friend, thank you very much for your €2 donation. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays, Captain.
Thank you very much. My man from Malta, very long-term member of the channel. Thank you very much for your tip there. Hope you're doing very well. And thank you very much for your continued support. It's been some time since we spoke, but I hope you and your children and your partner are doing very well indeed. Thank you. Ox, Patrick, any idea why the EasyJet did that low turn? No idea. No idea. Very interesting manoeuvre. Dennis, have you landed yourself as a pilot flying a Madeira? I haven't. So I'd love to show you, obviously, company briefings and things like that. I just can't do that. I'm not in a position to, nor would I want to do that anyway. But yeah, Madeira is what we call a Cat C airfield. So Category C means the pilots have to have specific training to operate into this airfield. So I cannot be rostered to fly into Madeira. So at my operator, the captain needs to have at least 1,000 hours experience, have conducted training in the Level D simulator, and then done some line training into the airport. And then to keep current in the previous 6 months, they have to have done at least one takeoff and landing into Funchal. And there's some other criteria as well too. And then you have a specific qualification from Madeira, which you have to carry on you for when you operate into this airport. Who issues that, I don't know, but yeah, it's the approach itself isn't too challenging. It's just the unique weather requirements and the fact that very light winds can cause significant mechanical turbulence, making it incredibly challenging to fly with winds changing, which is why when we look at the chart later, I'll show you there's wind limitations based off the direction, which aren't particularly strong, but they would prohibit you from landing, and they have to be respected. It's a very challenging approach to flying to for that reason. Plus, you know, if you have to divert, you're in the middle of the Atlantic, so you have to carefully plan your alternates. So for example, it's a busy airport, we're obviously flying over the Atlantic now, you have Madeira, the only nearby alternate is Porto Santo, but they can only accept so many diversions, and then it's full. Can you imagine if you had flight plan fuel for Porto Santo, then you've got to divert? Well, the next nearest is Tenerife, which is miles away in comparison to Porto Santo. So you have to plan very carefully at the planning stage. Daniel Back Rasmussen would like jet time ops. I've never even heard of that airline. Kev is flying. Have you ever been based outside the UK? I have, and I've spent many days out of base as well, but I've been based out in the UK. My long-term members remember my first base in Spain. Where was my first base? I was there for about a year and a half. It was a great time I had as well. Excuse me, guys. I'm beginning to lose my voice. It's a shame. I'm in the sim tomorrow. Jake YouTube, very attentive, very good. Alicante. Daniel Rasmussen. Jet time is a Danish charter airline. Oh, cool. That I did not know. Nice long sector here to Galpa. You see as we're over the Atlantic now, performance has improved dramatically. There we are, into the galley, but look at the BBJ. Got a little bar here. Mahogany worktop surfaces. Desks. A book with no name. It was a laptop. That needs to say alpaca. What's in here? I've never actually been around here. Oh, the textures there could be spruced up a little, I think. But no, I won't look in the mirror because you'll see me. But we have a shower and a toilet. Oh, very healthy. It's the same two croissants, but also a bowl of fruit. Locked. And then seats back here as well. What a way to travel. Where is everyone? I wonder if you can turn it on GSX, whether it's actually modelled with the BBJ. And then look, you've got some seats here. This is the press seats, are they? Very nice. You've got the updated cabin light controls as well. Very cool. A loud hailer. Oh, the seats at the back have screens. What a service. Oh, slammed the door in my face. Peter Jones, a great question. When in the sim doing training, do you practice full flights or just certain situations? That's a brilliant question. I don't think anyone's ever asked that before. So during the type rating, yes, every type rating session sort of starts with a simulated flight. So the candidates or cadets would download the required flight plans onto their iPad, and some of the sessions you start with a full setup. Some of them you start on the runway, but you know it's a simulated flight with every single one of them. And then obviously on that flight we either complete the flight from A to B, sometimes we divert. You have to run it as per the session guidance. But yeah, it's all based off real world sectors essentially. Great question. Perfect. Oh yeah, don't talk about my operator. No, yeah, don't talk about my stint in Okinawa. Yeah. Oh, those were cool. Those were some interesting times. Tim do should be a swear word. Oh, I've held too long there. Super Delphinus says, have you ever done an April Fool's joke where a pilot has started walking around the cabin during a flight? No. What on earth is that? Did they simulate unruly passengers? Brilliant. Hello from South Africa. Abrivissa, hope you're doing well. Anyway, look, let's have a little look at these release notes for this version of the PMDG. This is essentially the release version, which you guys should be able to get tomorrow. So it sort of says in the release notes, thanking PMDG, thanking for the coverage of the aircraft. They've elected not to wait for the full exterior upgrade process because they need another 2 to 3 weeks. That's what they were holding off. So they're going to release the aircraft in its current state. The aircraft's pretty much finished. So the entire sound package has received a thorough going through and some tweaks. Should sound like the actual airplane all phases of flight, which I think it pretty much does. Been added subtleties such as surface noise from the landing gear, which we heard. Nose wheel scrubbing during gear retraction. I didn't quite hear that because I was concentrating on flying the aeroplane. But anyway, significant changes since the first build, which I received and previewed a couple of weeks ago. We've got Route 2 functionality, which we'll look at in a second. Significant detail cleanup around the exterior. Improvements to model geometry and textures. Completely revised sound package throughout balance, volume and accuracy. Engine start shutdown sounds. Improved rudder tiller behaviour. That's a big noticeable improvement. In crew crowd handling. Again, I think that's better than in 2020. I do prefer how aircraft handle in X-Plane. That's just me. But 2024 over 2020 is significantly better. Improved taxi handling when using rudder only. I don't have a tiller, so I use rudder for all of it. Correct cabin lighting, door arming logic, flight model adjustments. Good news, guys. Finally, although not here with release, guess what they're finally bringing? A fans FMC CDU. So they're finally getting rid of, this FMC from the first generation NGs from the late 90s with the climb, cruise and descent button to the fans FMC with the VNAV button, which is pretty much fitted to every 737. That's good. They'll be refreshing external model rivet lines. Words I don't understand. But yeah, that's essentially this build I have today. With fantastic performance as well. So an aircraft behind me on that sim. Oh, look at that view. That's great. What a view. Matt, we'll have to pay for the upgrade of the PMDG. Yes, there is an upgrade fee. I have absolutely no clue on pricing on that whatsoever. All will be revealed, no doubt, when they schedule a release tomorrow. Oh, Steve! Oh no! Yeah, the fans FMC is coming, I'm afraid. But yeah, for me, I was very critical of 2024 when it was released in November last year. I said, well, I don't see the point of it. It's going to accommodate gamers. But now, since Sim Update 4, the amount of aircraft compatibility, or aircraft updates which are compatible with 24, it's time to make the move. My new PC I won't be installing 2020. Don't need to. And it saves so much space on your hard drive. So much space. Well, there's actually no Oceanic Airways on this sector. Get an FIR map here. Don't think you can. Basically, you would be with Lisbon throughout the entire sector. So you're under radar control the whole way. Cool. Right, what's top of descent anyway? Because obviously got a lot to talk about today with this approach. 17:19, so 20 minutes. Guys, I'm just going to make myself a quick cup of tea if you don't mind. I've been streaming for an hour and I need to sort of have a bit of a cough and a hot drink. I might actually make myself a lem sip. But we'll start out funny. I'll be back in about 5 minutes if that's okay. I do apologise. I wouldn't typically take a break on a shorter sector like this. But needs must. I'll be back in about 6 minutes at about 5 to 5, guys, alright. And yeah, if you enjoy the video, don't forget to like. If you're watching in the background, subscribe. And I'll be back at 16:55 Zulu. See you in a sec. Thanks for the intermission, guys. I made myself a Lemsip Max. Hopefully that will see me through to the end of the stream. I was actually just messaging one of my best mates who flies into Madeira for another airline. I was actually asking him what approach he flies. Got straight back to me. He says they do a visual approach, or sort of a modified visual approach, and have, I guess, some sort of approval to fly that. So not the charted published instrument approach, which we're going to fly today. It's quite interesting. Actually, not even a stapler cam. No, not in this simulator. It's a funky camera system. Which you grow to get used to, but it's take a while. Sneaky. What tea did you make? The flight attendant just called a strong smell in the lav area. Lemsip Max. I mean, it does smell, but my teas aren't that smelly. Aved, what's that thing below the clock? Yes, this is the auxiliary fuel tank fitted to my Boeing business jet, which I have absolutely no idea how it works. And they've obviously had to move the nose wheel steering to accommodate that. Yeah, I'd be interested to do an ultra long haul fly with this, with the auxiliary fuel tanks. In the settings in the PMDG, you could choose from multiple options as well. You could have 1 in the front, and I think it was up to 5 in the aft. So yeah, I just really don't know how it works. And obviously, I don't know if that feeds then direct to the engines or into the main tanks. I don't know. Very interesting. Chase plane soon, hopefully. Hopefully, yeah. I thought about it. I might use it in the future. Howie Hibbard. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail, but one of my best mates, who was also the best man at my wedding, is a colleague of yours. I've just seen him. What your chart looks like. Again, Quarter Page, it's a great question. I don't know if anyone would like to find out what the auxiliary fuel tanks on the 737 are like, if they're a bladder type or a fixed sort of tank. No clue. Absolutely no clue. I'll just sip on my Lemsip there. Just as I said, over the Atlantic. There's a few people that's joined in on the sector as well. Might be longer till we're halfway. There's an aircraft on the approach by the looks of it, or about to take off. Oh no, just about to land, look. TFF, Transavia, isn't it? Where's he coming from? Oh no, LBP. Oh, I don't know actually. So many people on that zip now. Pfft. Crazy. Anyway, look, we've got a little mini group flight going, which is great. Got Josiah, who always joins in. 537 knots. What am I doing? Oh my gosh, he's going to be overflying me soon. Well, if he wants to go ahead, that's fine. 537. I'll do 480. He's going 50 knots faster. I'll see him yet. Harry said, do your fleet have the 27k rating? I've never personally seen one, but I believe it's standard on the BBJ 900. No, we don't have the bump version, just 26k full. Desire, how? I don't know. Feel free to overtake though. Enter publish, hold it, pin him. Your wind is 004115. Oh my goodness. Is that what the wind is? 2,000 feet below? It could be that it's stronger below. Oh, it clearly is, look. That's where you're getting your extra speed from. I'm cruising it back this way, just to the 7.8. .146 miles to go, so we'll start setting up soon. So yeah, my advice is to, you never want to get ill, don't have children. To be fair, I think my daughter is a carrier and doesn't ever seem to suffer for anything. Neither does my wife. Joe. It's only me that ever seems to suffer. But I'm in the sim this week, so it's all good. Can't see you on the outside visually. Now here's some information about the external tanks. 737 auxiliary fuel is in 2 tanks, one in each cargo bay, where it's a rigid tank distributed to the centre tank. Ah, well that makes sense. Interesting, thanks for the info, Verify HD. It's Joe Dickerson now. No! Only me. No, it's fine. It's just a very sore throat, that's all. We're almost halfway. See the line on the top of the overlay. Oh yeah, absolutely, Steve. Of which we're very excited. Right, let's start setting up for this approach then. So, forecast, let's fetch the winds from A-cars. Hello Willie, you were meant to have your check today, I think you said. What was I reading that? Got to cancel because you've got whatever's going around. Oh, there's loads of it at the moment. If you're ill, mate. If you're ill, you're ill. Call in sick. Gotta do what you gotta do. There we are, winds are in execute. Q&A, let's have a little look at the weather in Madeira. 350 at 10. Alright, let me show you the chart then, guys. So, when you go to Madeira, you've got to check this. Really important. You cannot land if the winds are in excess of these speeds from these directions. So 350 at 10, we're in this sector here, so 15 knots gusting 25, so it's 10 knots. So, you know, it's nice weather there at the moment. When you get winds in excess of this, we've got to hold off the approach. Just because of the topography of the land and the geography. It's just so much mechanical turbulence. It's really challenging to fly. I say this like I flown it. I've never flown Madeira. I'm not qualified to fly to Madeira. Just basing off all the notes that I've seen here. And it's just obviously, they had to put a runway somewhere on this island, and that was the best place, and unfortunately there's a lot of mechanical turbulence from the wind. Okay. But this is the approach we're going to fly once we brief the start. It's the RP Zulu with 05 authorization required. So my operator does have the authorization required under a trial basis. From what I've read in my notes, we have to advise ATC that it's for training. And I guess after that trial period we can fly them full time. I have no clue. There are other approaches available, more conventional ones with sort of issued approaches to a circling minima, and then you sort of fly round visually. But this one will take you right to the runway using LNAV and VNAV, which I know sounds like you're cheating, but guess what you want to do in real life? You want your life to be as easy as possible. So if you've got the option to fly an approach which makes your life as easy as possible, you're going to fly it. Now, I'm not going to use the automation all the way. I'm going to get it positioned just to show you how accurate RMP approaches are with authorization required with these point merge turns. And essentially, it'll put you on the correct lateral vertical profile right down to minimums, and then you can decide what you want to do from there. So yeah, some of the prerequisites for Madeira then, as I said, it starts at the sort of planning stage. So you have to carefully check the weather. If it looks like a diversion is likely or the winds are approaching the limits, you liaise with the duty pilot and operations to plan some alternates. So the preference is to go to Porto Santo, which is the other island just to the north of Madeira, as we discussed earlier. There we are, but that does get very full quickly. But then if it's not good, go to the sort of west coast of Portugal, and then if that's no good, south towards the Canary Islands. So that's what you need to think about. So that's the alternate planning stage we discussed. Now, Funchal has mentioned, look, the weather has extreme challenges, and I think there was a statistic going around that 1 in 10 flights into Madeira experience diversion. So when it's widespread disruption, you know, sometimes flights won't even attempt to get in there, they'll just straight away divert to Lisbon, or maybe not even leave their main departure base. So you have to be very, very conservative. So obviously all the wind and turbulence limitations on the approach, be aware of them. Madeira Tower give you winds from various anometers. They've got one called Rosario, which I'm not sure where that is exactly, but then they give you touchdown zone midpoint winds as well. And then it's a captain's only landing. The PM, the first officer, has to be the first officer. He'll be monitoring the limitations of the winds when the winds are given from ATC, but I think ATC won't do it. But yeah, we're going to fly of all the approaches available, this is probably the best one for the north, the lowest workload, and I'm going to fly it exactly as per my operator's SOPs, the configuration, etc. So we'll step through those points in a second. Let's check the rest of the FMC to make sure it's all configured. And I've wrote this on the chart, so if you want to make notes, feel free to do so. 250 below 100 is fine. Fixturings then, we don't really need to put any in because we configure a little bit uniquely on this approach. However, I will, just for my benefit, put in a 10-mile ring for situation awareness, but you're going to obviously turn well within that. 3 times height as well, at 37,000 feet, so it's roughly where top descent will be, 111 miles away from the airport. And let's have a look at this start. So it's a very simple start really. Look, Racken 1 Papa, starting at Racken. Direct to Mike Alpha 534. 4,000 feet above, then to Pillim. 3,000 feet above, that's all it is. Max 230 knots after Pillim. Excuse me, guys. So if you obviously get to Pillim, not being cleared, or it's busy, you enter a hold there, and then decide a plan of action. But if all is good, you will fly the RMP Zulu for runway 05. So you can check all these waypoints. You've got Mike Alpha 530, 2,000 feet or above, and then we have this little arc to 526, or 528, then to 526, which is the initial fix, then Mike Alpha 522, and Mike Alpha 522 is the final approach point, or final approach fix, and that's a hard altitude of 2,000 feet, max speed 160 knots. So we need to make sure we configure the aircraft for these speeds accordingly. And then it's an arc turn to 520 to 502, and then down to your minimums to runway 05. Now MSA is obviously to do with the island, 8,200 feet. To the south it's the Atlantic, so stay south. We've noted the wind limitations, wind limits at the moment. Now, you have all of these different minimas for this approach based off your aircraft's requirements. So my operator has approval at the moment for RMP authorization required into Madeira of 0.3. So it is the highest minima, but still, I think if the cloud base is below a certain height, which is well in excess of all these, you can't fly the approach anyway. But this is a DA, we'll set 910 feet, which today is going to be more than sufficient to be visual. So 910 feet, close that, we'll set the minima, and we'll talk about how to configure for this approach accurately. See a lot of questions coming into chat, or some general chit chat. I'll have a look at those in a second. Oh, look at that, set the minima like a pro, 910 feet. We can preset the QNH as well to Madeira, which is 1025. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting, I've got my EFIS panel right in front of me, never mind. Right, so we check the lateral path, that's all okay. I mean, you can also go to legs, plan, step through it, make sure the picture looks right. Zoom right in there. There you go, yeah, looks good, doesn't it? 526, 522, 520, etc, etc. Now, again, there's no nav 8. I will tune the Funchal VOR, not that this approach, or this approach is based off it, but something to back up, 112.2. That's active. Oops. And course is 049. Great. So then guys, how am I actually going to fly this approach? So we have very specific guidance from my operator that I work for, but essentially it goes as this. We're going to fly the approach. We want to make sure that by Mike Alpha 526, which is the initial fix, we'll fly this as a CDO as well, that we at least flap 5, the maximum speed of 165 knots. Now it does say max 195, my operator says no, 165 please, flap 5 at that point. We'll then configure around the corner, and Mike Alpha 52, sorry, I'm going to just get this right, I need to read this correctly. Max speed 165 knots before, so it says before Mike Alpha 526, B flat 5, max 165 knots. At Mike Alpha 526, gear down, flat 15, landing checklist of flaps. And then we set the runway heading at that point, because LNAV will manage the turn. So gear down, flat 15 here. We then call approaching descent 2 miles before this waypoint to set the minimums on the MCP. So we set 1,000 feet on the MCP, rounded up. And then we select the landing flap immediately after the FAP. which is Mike Alpha 522. So gear down flat 15 here, landing flap here. Flat 30 or 40, we're quite light today, we'll probably go flat 30 with the performance, and then you continue the approach. You then set the missed approach altitude once you're below 2,700 feet to ensure that your for go around is correctly set. And then you establish, or anticipate establishing on runway centerline by 200 feet, and LNAV will take you there. Okay, so that's the beauty of authorization required approaches. Very important to note the temperature requirements. You cannot fly this approach if the temperature is below 7.5, because with a cold temperature the altimeter overreads, so you're actually higher than what the altimeter says, so it's dangerous, so you have to respect those temperature limits. If you are below that temperature, you can still fly another published approach with greater temperature limits. So yeah, that is how we're going to fly it as per SOP. So if you were to fly with my operator, you'd go, right, well, that's where flight deck to sit, drop the gear. I mean, not that we fly to Madeira much from Osaka. It's all pure fantasy. Right, let's look at the performance. Over here to the tablets. Close this. Still got the SID, great. Oops. Now I want the arrival, please. There we are. So the star we're flying will just pre-select the Raccoon Papa. Where are you? Can't see it. Oh, right in front of me. Raccoon Papa. Approach. RMP Zulu. Yankees from the south. Very similar approach. Let's look at the performance then. So airport landing here, we have the extension of the runway, and this is the beautiful scenery from Atelic we're using today. We might be able to make Bravo at this weight today. I think Bravo is probably just under 2,000 metres, even with flat 30. So what we'll do here is performance tool, landing en route, import aircraft details, reverse credit. Let's try flat 30 on a break 3. Correct winds in, calculate. Yeah, look at that, 1560 metres. That's unfactored, but should be good enough for us. So fuel, we're going to burn 600 kilos, 55.2. Flat 30. What a break 3. And we'll use second descent reverse. Happy days. Set up, ready for the approach. This has been thanks for grabbing the scenery. For those of you who are interested, that's the airport scenery I used today. I don't think your base flies into Madeira anyway. And Josiah, will I very much respect if you don't half guess my base, but that's actually untrue. I'm just not qualified to go into Madeira. Asika, will the PMDG 73 be available on PS5 also? I have no idea. Probably in time. That's one to ask the devs. Is it ever below 7.5 degrees in Madeira? Probably not. V-Sky check. Yeah, very good point there. Yeah, the 7.3 slippy. So flat 5 165. If you don't configure accordingly, the speed will run away. Crazy sarcasm. iFly had crashes with the progress page. I think yes, it did with progress page 4, but I think they fixed that. Harry, absolutely yes. You want progress page 4 to monitor the RMP, AMP. Well, it's actually not so much that, because you get that. Actually, no, I don't have the MPS scales here, but yeah, obviously progress page 4 does have that 0.3 requirement, but you're actually looking also at the cross-track error and vertical deviation, which must be plus or minus 75 feet. Again, I'm not qualified to fly the authorization required approaches. I've not read the full briefing and the presentations online. Whether there's any different cross-track error, vertical deviation requirements, I'm not sure. But my operator, when we fly these approaches, we do something called a double brief, which clarifies all the requirements for the maximum deviations and cross-track errors, AMP, RMP, etc. Oh, Josiah, got you. I thought you were half guessing where I'm based in Japan. Captain Noodle, fully understand your curiosity, asking if I do fly for 2, but I wish not to disclose who I work for, my operator. Very fortunate to the fact that they're fully aware and allow me to do it on the prerequisite. That's I just remain anonymous. Well, actually, there's no exact requirement of that. I could easily show you who I are, I just choose not to. Thank you very much for your understanding. When he says I thought temperatures corrections are made at minus 10 degrees or below. No, whenever it's 0 degrees Celsius or below. I'm all ready for the approach anyway. Let's see how the aircraft handles it. I did a little test sector earlier. Guess what I was saying, went very well, but I will be inhibiting the terrain. That is non-standard. You would never inhibit the terrain unless directed by a non-normal checklist or specific guidance in a briefing pack. Unfortunately, the terrain warning is a little bit too sensitive. Yeah, sorry, Route 2, you're quite right. Will Henwood. What's your name, Will? WPM 720, my goodness. Welcome, the Gummy Flashlight. Thanks for your subscription. Right, so Route 2. Here it is. You select that, and then you put in your next route. It's as simple as that. Some airlines use it for diversion. A couple of things to make a note of. When you put your new route in, do not enter a new call sign because that will overwrite your existing call sign. So you leave that in. You punch in your route. You can put in your departures and arrivals. So, you know, I could put in something now for you if you want. Imagining we would be flying back. So Lima Papa, Mike Alpha, to Lima Papa Papa Tango. Don't put in a call sign. Departures. Runway 02, Bevos 1 Lima, and then if I was to put departure arrivals, make sure you select route 2, not route 1, ILS 02, legs, route direct PES6, and you should see, there you go, see the blue dash line? That's for the route 2, so so yeah, two things, don't put the new route call sign in, don't activate it, otherwise you'll be in trouble. Right. There you go. Can you copy your active route over to the other and then modify it? No. You can only put a new route in. That's Airbus stuff, that is. Aaron, I thought you flew the A318 for Southwest out of shit. Can you set that up, Navigraph, to download it into the FMC? Yes, I mean the first sector. Route 2, I'm not so sure. But yeah, if I was flying 2 sectors there, I'd be using it now. How do you go back to Route 1 if you select Route 2? Just go here. There you go, look, Route 2, Route 1. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I think it's because I didn't update the runway point there. And then it's permanently saved, so if you go to the next page, you'll see departure from, there you go, Route 2. Anyway, I will do that on my next 2-sector stream with the PMDG 737. For now, we are approaching top of descent for this sector. So let's have a little look at the arrival. Set a sensible restriction. So what we got here? 4,000 feet. Why not? There's no thing between us and this restriction here. So 4,000 feet. We'll set on the MCP. Actually, you know what? I'll go down to a 100 initially. Set and yeah, leave it VNAV and it will automatically start the descent for you. Oops, that's the wrong button. There we are. Josiah Plays, a little concerned about how close you are. Yes, you're probably a bit too close. If I descend at 270 knots, could you do 250? That should do it by the time you get there. Down we go. Ah, Stephen, yeah, it's really useful. I use it all the time just to save time. Still have to type it in all manually in real life. Oh, Josiah, you've got a soul behind you as well. Well, hopefully he'll slow down. Maybe you could Unicom request or DM him. Hello, Callum. What's the 111-mile range ring? That's just for situation awareness to where roughly top of descent is. 3 times the height. We're at 37,000 feet. 37 times 3 is 111. Simbear, did you see my comment earlier? They're going to get this and learn to fly the 737 finally. Unbelievable. Good man. Ditch that horrid Airbus. See, V1's doing it. He's seen the light. Sounds good, Josiah. I'll speed up a little bit. I'll give myself 300 knots in the descent. On conversion. There we are. It's going to put me low on profile, that is, because I've told it to go faster. There we are. That's completely normal. I did okay at maths. I did okay at maths. Just expanding your skill set. There we are. So because I was told VNAV to go 300 knots in descent, it's put me 3,700 feet low on profile. That's completely normal. It's 300 knots is a much steeper path with idle thrust. Nathan, 7-3 is the king. The best pilots sink their heading bugs. Yeah, look. Alright, hold on. There you go. I know you don't, Anthony. Sun's going to be in our eyes as well. Actually, no, by the time we turn base and final will be great. Young's body coming in from Libreville, Gabon. That's amazing. Good day to you. I don't think I've ever had anyone from Gabon on the live stream. Very good day to you. I hope you're doing well, sir. Also, I don't know if anyone here is in chat. I have a new feature on YouTube. I can leave voice replies to comments. So, if I so feel, I can reply to any comment on YouTube via a voice note of up to 30 seconds. I've done it a few times, much to the amusement of the person writing the reply. So if you ever decide to write a comment, I might be able to reply to you via voice. Marco, I'm going insane, put the heading back. It's matched! Remember that is the heading bug, look. I can't. I can't match it any better than that. Steve, yeah, good luck with that. Type in YouTube how to set up my cameras like an X-Plane, and that will get you the video you need. I can send it to you in the link. Oh right, oh that's what I was talking about. I said I've never seen one of those before, and I had no idea what I was talking about when I read your like. Ah. Yes, didn't I reply to one of your comments? Harry, now V1 is also doing a type rating on a proper plane. Is there any chance we'll see a shared cockpit fly off? The amount of times I've said yes, we actually haven't done it. Yes, he needs some tips, doesn't he? Oh, Nathan, you have a heading up display. Ooh, yeah, that's whatever you're used to, I guess, isn't it? Obviously, I've been using 737s with a track up display only for, well, since I started flying the aircraft 15 years ago. Ash, great question. If the 73 didn't exist, what aircraft would you like to fly? I would like to fly. No, not an Airbus. No, I think I would fly an Airbus. I'd like to give it a go. I'd have no choice. I don't want to fly long haul, so Airbus it would be. It would have to be. I reckon Boeing though. What are they going to make? Is it this so unofficially called 797? It's going to replace the 73. Airbus is heading up. I know, Josiah. Awful. Oh, Harry, do you have heading up? Didn't know that. Brian, thank you, 61 months, buddy. Our N2 member. Happy Merry Christmas to all of the Alpaca crew. Finally catching a live stream as I'm off work for a few weeks, recovering from a knee replacement. Oh! I hope you're doing well, buddy. I didn't even know how that felt before what it feels like now after a knee replacement, but hopefully you're on the mend, and thank you very much for popping in today, and enjoy your time off. Oh my gosh. Josiah, you're all right up my trumpet, you are, mate. I've just looked on Navigraph. Can't see you though. We're not doing 300 knots, back on path. Bang, it's at the 25. Oh dear, heading up, no good. Aaron, have you seen the official CDU touchscreen for the 73? I've heard about it, I've not gotten much information about it, but yes, I know in the Max 10 it will be fitted as standard. Roger, Josiah. 300 is good speed here. Alright, approaching Raccoon. We'll then make our left turn inbound to Mike Alpha 534. We're beginning the arrival. So on my printed chart I've made with my tiny handwriting all of the configuration points. You can see here, look what I've wrote. Probably actually the camera can't focus in that close, not like any sort of macro lens. But, oh, actually, the camera's pretty good, isn't it? These Logitech cameras, I'm not affiliated with them, by the way. They're actually really, really good. They focus. So you can see my little notes about where to configure. I do this in real life. If I go somewhere that's quite tricky, I'll print off a chart from my operator at home and then print it on my... I know we have all iPads and whatnot, but I actually prefer to have it printed right in front of me. For those tricky approaches. Which model is your cam? It's a Logitech. It's only a 1080 because I don't need any bigger with the size of the windows I use on my stream. I'm just having a look here. Oh, something or other. I'd have to unplug it, I think, to see underneath it. But it's a comment in the video, and I'll let you know after the stream because I'll reply to you. Not particularly expensive. I've got two. One for the MCP, which you can see here, and then another for the yoke cam, which is there. God, I do my new PC. There's a lot of lag here. Did you buy a new one for the MCP cam? I did, Ryan. Itchy and scratchy. Yeah, I'll give you a voice reply. I think, Dominant, I think you might be right. We'll have an ankle cam in 4K. Why is ADF fitted? Because pretty much all the NGs, they removed the second ADF. So they, instead of having a whole new EFIS panel, they just put an in-op sticker on it, which is pretty much every NG now, and on the Max. All my LEMSIP's beginning to kick in. That's great. Right, pop the seatbelt signs on. So again, once again, I'd like to say thanks to Atelic, sim developer, ATELIC, for providing the scenery for today's stream. Madeira does have a basic update to a default airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Had a look at it, and it's all right, but it needs updating. So I had a look at who's made one for this airport. Saw Atelic, dropped him a message, very kindly sent it over this morning. Really nice, and it's not even fully updated for 2024 yet. It's 2020. It's got 2024 sort of compatibility, but it's being updated as we speak to be even better in the future. And it's really nice, like all the details under the runway, all the boats. Oh, it looks fantastic. You'll see it on the approach here. So do consider having a look. Need to have a look at this their Luxembourg scenery as well. It's a Czech developer, but I love supporting small independent developers whenever I have the chance. LEMSIP Chunky taking the controls. Ox Patrick, you're most welcome, and that's the whole idea of these streams. It's a laid-back environment. I share a bit of the things, some of the things I've learned in the last 15 years, and I have great enjoyment doing so. Donna Mosina, yeah, C922. I know the second camera I bought for the MCP cam is the same, so there you go. I have a C922 webcam. I do like Logitech stuff. I've always sort of had it. My keyboard, mouse is Logitech. My G903 and G915. Yes, Marcus Drexel, I do confirm I have disabled the default scenery. I do know that if you get some third-party scenery and it's one of the premium airports in Microsoft Flight Sim, you need to disable it. That I have done, and I confirmed it again before the stream. Still rocking the Logi rudder pedals. The ProFlight, they're Cytec, aren't they? Yep, they're still rocking them. They're old. I said they're alright. Alright, okay. Right then, so we best turn the music off and start concentrating on this approach. So we'll step down to 4,000 feet, Mike Alpha 534. So 4,000 feet is set. We'll set the QNH of 1025, passing 12,400 for 4,000 feet. Standby altimeter is set. Did I not update it in the FMC? Not sure. Let's just monitor the speed here whilst we get back on path. There's a little bit of an island to the northeast of Madeira. Oh, what a time to fly. Logitech sponsor soon. Exactly, spottish. It's wait, is that you, Skittish? Or is that it's different? Everyone's got different usernames now. Right, there's the decel point for 250 knots below 100. So let's do the post cruise checks. Fuel, 4 pumps, lights, logo, angle of bank, 25 pressurization, 2.9 set, belts on recall. Checks complete. Completely non-standard, guys. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to disable terrain inhibit. So I'm going to get this display here. I must stress, this is not what you do in real life. You leave this on and respect any generated terrain cautions and warnings. Unfortunately, I will mention this to Matthias and PMDG. It's a little bit too sensitive. So I flew the approach twice. Both times I got full-blown terrain warnings, even though I was on the correct speed on the correct lateral path. And I double-checked all my operator's notes. We don't inhibit this for the approach. You never really inhibit the terrain inhibit system. Just a little bit too sensitive with the terrain on base and on final. I know. Oh, it is you, Skittish. Well, I'll call you Spottish now. Right, there we are. 10,000 for 4,000 feet. And we're approaching Mike Alpha 534. So after that's Pilim, and that's when we're going to start thinking about configuring for the approach. So just watch the speed there. It's on path, so it's dive for the path, that's fine. So let's just extend the speed brake to keep the speed at 250 knots below 100. Jonathan Wiltshire, what happened to Streamlabs donations? I don't use it anymore, so I got rid of it. It's still there, but it just tidies up everything there. But thank you very much for your consideration. Just tidies things up on the other side of the YouTube, so turn it off. Just like, yeah, your name wasn't changed. Loads. Will Henwood, hold on, your name's returned. What was your previous one? Can't remember. See, I must stress this terrain inhibit. Well, any real world operators, you know this is purely for entertainment. Please don't follow any of the guidance here. They are modified so I can operate a desktop simulated aircraft single pilot. But where possible, I follow real world procedures as accurately as I can. Try the replay tool again, even though the engines sound really bad with every replay using the FCR. Oh, I know what I can do is use GSX to choose my stand, can't I? So what stand shall we go for? Just realised that one doesn't actually have one, so I turn off traffic. Let's just do A10 because of the Thunderbolt. Madeira. Let's have portway. Great, so that's all set up. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just tidies things up to not accept them anymore. I could do, but why not? And it doesn't pick up correctly. And now I've updated my banner, I got rid of it as well. But like I said in my post last week, just enjoy the show. Alright, inbound to Pilim. Now switch charts as we've cleared that as well. Then obviously after Pilim, oh, what's up to my chart? Hey, I'm not up there. I'm down here. I hope I'm not there. There we are. You obviously have to get your clearance to fly the approach, be getting your wind information here. So if anyone could grab the METAR so we can have an update of the wind, because that's really important for this approach to make sure that we don't exceed any of the limitations. Previously, the wind direction was, I think, 020 something, so or 010, so the wind must be 15 knots steady, maximum gust 25. Oh, there, perfect. 360 at 7. So off that radial, yeah, 15 knots maximum, gusting 25, so we're in limits. Now, from my understanding, Microsoft Flight Simulator does model mechanical turbulence with winds over terrain, so let's see if it picks up anything today. Just turning up all the lighting here. Anyway, passing Mike Alpha 528. The next thing we need to think about, as I said from the briefing stage, is this max speed. My operator here is not 195. We need to have flap 5 and maximum speed 165, but at Mike Alpha 528 we go, correction, Mike Alpha 526, we go gear down flap 15 in 10 miles. So we're just going to monitor the speed and the decel, and we can now step down to 2,000 feet as well. So 2,000 feet, just bring up the cam, is set. And what I'm going to actually do is start slowing down a little bit earlier. Open the oh no, hold on, I've got my MCP. Do this, select flap 1. Quite close to landing, guys. No ATC, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to select flap 1. Got a bit of a tailwind here. Match speeds. Remember, at Mike Alpha 526, we go gear down flap 15. So I want to be at least at the flap 5 speed by Mike Alpha 526. Probably at the planning stage, I should have put a lower speed at Mike Alpha 528, but never mind. Okay, flap 5, speed check. Still got the speed brake out. Beautiful approach, which reminds me, let's start this replay. Recording. Good, speed's coming back really nicely. And I've stowed the speed brake. Good, so next thing will be gear down flat 15 at Mike Alpha 926. If you were to look out the window here, it's a bit hazy and a bit cloudy, but you can see Madeira off there. Beautiful. Right, one more sip of Lemsip before my approach. But the workload is significantly less on these sort of approaches, but you've got to have contingency procedures. So oh yeah, one thing I think I forgot to do is turn off the VR updating. So yeah, you need to know what to do if you were to lose the FMC, lose GPS, navigational accuracy. You'd have to break off the approach. Essentially, all missed approaches make a right turn immediately from the terrain. You could obviously still be an IMC at this point. Okay, coming to the gear down flat 15 configuration point. There's the runway. Look on the stilts. Beautiful. Alright, here's the configuration point at Mike Alpha 526. Gear down, flap 15, match speed. Landing checklist, 2 flaps. Start switches continuous. Recall checked, speed brake. Where's the click spot? Arm green light. Landing gear, down 3 green. Order brake is set to 3. Holding at landing flap. Remember the landing flap we set here. And at this stage we can set the runway heading, which is 049 degrees. So we won't be using the heading mode again for this approach. Checked. Oh, look at that. Just get rid of the MCP there, but stunning. I know when to choose a good time to stream, don't I? Excellent. Dropped off that sim. Yeah, I disconnected. There's no ATC. I'll log back in once I vacate.
2500.
Checked. So next thing is approaching descent, which I just missed. 2 miles per Mike Alpha 522. So that's 1,000 feet. Verify VNAV path, speed into vents. Next we'll be selecting the landing flap at Mike Alpha 522. Max speed 160 knots. Oh, this is stunning. Absolutely fantastic. Well, and this is an amazing training tool. Like if you were to do your foot chow training before jumping at the level D sim for your rating, this would be an amazing way of practicing. Right, Mike Alpha 522, flap 30, match speed. Flaps we've got 30, 30 green lights, prog 4, landing lights on. Clear land checks complete. Next thing, set the missed approach altitude, 3,000 feet, because we're below 2,700 feet, we can do that now. 3,000 feet is set. And now you monitor the flight path all the way around. And it will put you on the pappies. It shows 4 whites at the moment, that's fine, we're not flying towards the runway directly at the moment. Just taking a Toby eye tracker for this actually. By the way, that's why I just put the terrain inhibit on in the simulator, which you wouldn't do in real life, because it was screaming at me, caution, terrain, 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 pull up, terrain, terrain, pull up. There you go, 3 whites, 1 red just coming in now. Alright, cool. So once you're sort of here, I kind of like to turn off Toby eye tracking because I can see everything I need to. And then we're ready to disconnect. Alright, wish me luck. So you've got the leading lights to follow. Auto throttle disconnected, there's the click. Autopilot disconnected. Don't forget to cancel the horn. Oops! I think that re-engaged the autopilot. There we are. Checked.
Plus 100.
And you can continue to follow the flight director guidance. It's going to give you really good guidance all the way till touchdown.
Minimum.
Continue. Just watch the rate of descent. 2 reds, 2 whites. Absolutely stunning. So in real life I think you probably get a bit more mechanical turbulence. You can see that wind sort of changing around there. Even with 6 knot winds it can be super bumpy here. Beautiful.
500.
Checked. Just correct that 3 reds. Back on path. Get rid of the flight directors. Not happy with the guidance, so
400.
don't get drifted downwind. I think my speed brake just accidentally disarmed. Don't know what happened there. Get back on centre line, Sam. My goodness, terrible.
50, 40, 30, 20,
Check.
10.
Nice. Hold the attitude. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. There we are. Speed brakes up. Reverses. There we are. 73%. 100 knots. Floated a bit too long there. 80 knots. 60 knots. Idle reverse. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Madeira. Fantastic. Stay the reverses. Take off the water brake. There we go. Don't try and stop on the runway. Right. I'm unfamiliar with Madeira. I have to go. Can I do a 180 or do I go to one of the turn pads? I'll go to one of the turn pads. There we are. Very floaty. My speed brake, for some reason, I don't know why, disarmed itself. There might have been some noise from my thrust levers, but I don't know what was my landing rate. So obviously it doesn't come up on my screen. Other aircraft usually take the first exit, just say, yeah, alright. No, I was just blame the sim. I can't blame the sim. The PMDG was absolutely flawless. Desktop simulators are so good. This is the fantastic scenery from Atelic. Really nice. Awesome. So I did just log off of that sim just because there was no ATC. I'll log back on, so I've vacated the runway. Passengers are clapping. What was the landing rate? No one said in chat yet. Was it -1, I think? Hey, it's a BBJ. They had to be impressed. Awesome. Great performance down this PC. And I don't think you get any of these lights with the default scenery as well, so you get all these additional features. Confirmed JAL amount, or JAL moments. Landing rate didn't show up on the screen. Oh, really? I know why. Fly Live overlay's not on. I think I disabled that last stream and I didn't put it back on. Yeah, because the overlay's not up with the landing rate calculated as part of that overlay, it didn't show. Alright, here we are. We'll take this left, maximum 10 knots. Clean up the flaps. 1,000 then. I don't even have New Sky on either because I don't think it's... Actually, I haven't tried it. Would New Sky experts, New Sky is the client we use to run our virtual airline, would this work with the default 737 in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024? Sorry, this aircraft in 2024? Don't know. I'll log back on that sim. Just to see if we can see Josiah plays, who's going to probably on final. I'm going to take Alpha 10. Perfect. Let's do the cleanup. Out off. Trim 4 units. MCP flight directors off, which they already are, because I turned them off on my yoke. So that's a 100. Put a brake to off. System page. Brakes hydraulics. That's good. Thrust idle recall. Stay on the taxi line as best as you can. Ah, there we are. Just seen a tap land. Beautiful. Smashed it down, didn't he? How do you set the landing gear to off with the thrustmaster? At the moment, I can't get it to work in 2024, so I'm actually having to press G. Oh, Josiah, good man. Thanks for the spacing. I'm trying to turn the lights off before Alpha 10. All the ground equipment should be there. Perfect. Oh god, this is why you have a first officer in real life. Great. There we are, putting on stand. Oh, I wish I was doing 2 sets, guys, but I'm not quite 100% today. I'd love to have done 2. Oh, what a parking brake set. 2 blues, 1 red, edges dead. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Atelic design scenery from Atelic for Madeira. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, where was the dance to celebrate my fantastic parking? Seatbelt signs off. Doors to manual and cross check. Voice recorder on. Transponder 2000 standby. Verify reduction in N2. And engine 1 and 2 N2 we just went to. It's below 20%. It is. Anti-collision light off. And then we can request deboarding. Beautiful. Very nice. Ground staff go to get rid of, or go collect what bags are on board from the 46 passengers. We've got some air stairs here as well. Very nice indeed. Well, that was a really, really nice stream. Aircraft was perfect. I couldn't really fault it. And I have been a harsh critique, and I always will be a harsh critique with certain developers. You might think because I got access to this aircraft I would not be so harsh, but I've given free rein to talk about the airplane, as I have done with all these different aircraft I fly. That's why I tend to only fly aircraft which are well made and quite reputable. But it's the PMDG 737. It's fantastic. We just flew an AR approach incredibly accurately. All the automation, everything I worked as expected. If I was to do this training myself in the Level D simulator tomorrow, I'd be really well prepared for this particular approach. And we only cover the very basics today, to be fair. There's lots of different procedures such as balked landing procedures and diversion requirements and all the other approaches that you can fly. But yeah, really, really nice. Feels like it will work, which is all you need to hear, I think, as casual listeners. But there we are. Anyway, I'll have a quick look around the scenery. This was very kindly provided from Atelic. Check it out. As mentioned, Madeira is available as a premium airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but nowhere to the level of detail that you see here. And bear in mind that this is not fully updated yet in 2024. Atelic has just made it compatible, but there is an update coming which will further improve things using technology 2024 offers. But you can see here how beautifully modelled it is, including the interior. Which I'm in here. You can get some perfume touch, old timer, whatever these shops are. Oh cool, I didn't know Madeira had a little viewing spot here. Amazing. And then the detail, I think that guy's just shut his engines down around here. It's very nice. Look at the weather. All under the bridges. I didn't know this. I actually watched a documentary on YouTube about this airport and the design and time it took to build this here. The runway is supported on these arches because previously it was far too short to sort of expect a lot of traffic, and now was it 2,700 meters long? Look at this. Unique. I don't think there's any airport like this in reality, but the design of this is fantastic. You know, I was thinking actually earlier, you could actually download and purchase a car for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I thought I'd drive around on the roads and have a look, but perhaps not today. But very nice scenery. There's tennis courts, all sorts under here. I'd actually love to go here just to explore. There we are. You've got all the local towns, cities, buildings, all beautifully modelled and recreated. Fantastic. That's a lot of concrete, a lot of engineering. And there is Josiah Plays, a fellow alpaca colleague who's just landed on the Airbus and didn't float and will make the exit. Amazing. Well, once again, thank you very much, Atelic, for providing this scenery. Oh yes, it's doing the whole gear up thing in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I know if I log in to vPilot or log out, log in again, it does fix that issue. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. And there we are in our BBJ. With the passengers still there. Need to open the doors, I think, but never mind. Right then, well, we'll look at the replay. It should have worked correctly. If you get the vPilot beta, the missing gear is fixed. Ah! There was an update to vPilot, which I didn't do prior to the stream. So is that new vPilot update in beta, or out of beta now, updated fully to fix that issue? That's great if it has. Amazing. So, what a lovely stream. And once again, thank you to PMDG for sending over this aircraft in early access. Or prior to release, which it should be tomorrow for you to enjoy in 2024 prior to Christmas. I don't know what the fee is for the upgrade. I've been told, or PMDG have said, it's the price of a coffee. So whatever that means, where you get your coffee from, who knows? Is it going to be a coffee from your supermarket or a top end one with all the fancy designs? Who knows? But that's PMDG's choice. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. But regardless, you know how much I've been enjoying 2024 recently. I'm going to make the switch from 2020 to enjoy this aircraft in the future. Uninstall 2020 as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it too. Performance you see in my old PC with a 3080 and 10 gigabytes of VRAM is acceptable, and I'm streaming as well. I've got all the streaming software all on one PC. So you know, if you were to discount all of that, you can see how well it runs on my computer. But yeah, anyway, I hope you do enjoy the aircraft, which should be released tomorrow for Christmas. Anyway, let's log off. There's Josiah with his gears up. Hopefully, like I said, the vPilot update, as I've just found out, has fixed this issue, so that'll be a nice thing to try in the future. Anyway, let's jump back into the cockpit. We'll leave it in the transit shutdown state. Log off of that sim. Load the paddle state for landing, which should accommodate the replay a little bit easier. Menu. We go to panel states, load. I think final's the one. Execute. Give it a second. Click. There we are. Starts the engines. Try to match as many switches as possible. I do have to say the engine sounds are improved. Something like that. Alright, don't worry about the fuel. The flaps are in the correct position. We'll get rid of Fly Live. And we'll get rid of GSX. Let's see how the replay works. Hold on, I'm just having problems in the background here. Restart GSX, perfect. So we press this, stop the replay, play. Ooh, I did a thing. I put some music on. The transition to the replay is very smooth in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but there we are. I've just turned the replay music on. Why have we got no replay music? No, that's the wrong replay music. Oh my god, it's gone. I can't. No, that's the other replay music. I don't know why. I'm just going to go outside. I don't think the replay music's working. Right, anyway, let's have a look at this landing. My replay music is not working. Oh, it is working! There we are. Turn that down. Turn that down. Right, let's have a look at this landing then from the outside. Remember, the sounds during the replay are not perfect. Real streamer, inhibit terrain again. Oh yes, it should do it once I've moved it. Lance Stroll's mechanic, welcome. I bet you're busy. Almost 100,000 subs to Captain. Can't wait to see what the secret stream will be to honour it. Oh yes, we'll support a very good charity for that. It'll be a long stream. Yeah, I got blown off sense line there. Sort of corrected it. And we got back on sense line. Let's see how long I floated for. Ooh. Oh, you know what? It was actually just outside the aiming point. Oh gosh, the replay. Oh my days. Let's have a look from there. So yeah, that's where you want to touch down here. Obviously the pappies don't look right because of the camera position. So that's where I want the wheels. There. It's in the touchdown zone. Bit long. Oh, the engine sounds during the replay. Oh dear. There we are. These sounds, crikey. Right, what I'll do is I'll pop you back on the approach, probably around there. Probably want the other view, don't we? So we can see out the window. Yeah, then I'll switch view during the replay. Right, guys, well that ends today's live stream. As I mentioned 5 minutes ago, should be released tomorrow. Enjoy the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 PMDG 737. Fantastic update. Love the little changes they made. The aircraft continues on its fantastic realism from 2020. Thank you everyone that donated, to all the gifted members and the members for your continued support as well. Most appreciated. I will squeeze in the stream before Christmas. 23rd, I've got in my diary as a potential stream. I have one standby this week. I'll see how I feel. At work anyway, because I've got a very sore throat. But thank you once again for all your support. Enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye bye. And that is why I muted it. Can you hear the terrain warnings going on, guys? That's a mandatory terrain escape manoeuvre. Take care, guys. Ciao.